nice that we see eye to eye. It's nice to know we have common goals. Groundwork laid, plans being made. Watch your back as you go along. Watch your back, 'cause you're weak and they know it. Something happened, but I don't know what. The conversation just got weird. Something has me in a state. Your tone has changed. This isn't making sense to me. Watch your back as you go along. Watch your back, 'cause you're weak and they know it. Oh, watch my back, though it breaks my heart. Tell me, is there nobody that I can trust? Sky's full of clouds. I'm stuck on their silver lining. Those never was a perfect world. I should have known. I should have seen this coming. Try as you might, I refuse to play. I watch my back as I go along. But most of us are not like you.
The active set, Watch Your Back. Now, I can pretty much nail down why a lot of people gravitate towards the song, especially me, is just the amount of influences in the song. I mean, that was such a good mix of like kind of pop and pop alternative. And just the chorus, the harmony is what was good, because we don't hear that too often, you know. And the thing is you had a mix, and this is from what I picked up. There's a mix of Blink-182, Linkin Park, and it just screamed those influences, but it was really cool, and it just flowed so well. And like, I think this one's a little bit heavier than we're used to from the active set as well. So it kind of gives you a different spin and a different kind of audience.
That's Blink-182 and Linkin Park. That's interesting to hear. I can honestly say that those are not necessarily bands I listen to, but I always love hearing what we get compared to. Like, I have no objections to anything that people say, oh, you guys sound like this, because it's always fascinating to me to see what the music sounds like to people. Because a lot of times when you're asked to kind of do your elevator pitch of what's your band sound like, you know, I've stopped saying indie rock band, because that term means nothing anymore. It's just it encompasses too many different genres and sounds and styles. So I've gone back to saying we're an alternative band, because I feel, because of our rock element, and it's not we're not a lo-fi kind of band, and I feel like a lot of the indie rock stuff is tied in with being kind of lo-fi and smaller productions and stuff like that. But so but it's always fascinating to me. I mean, and I love it. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, you remind us." Somebody once said, "Oh, you sound like the Appleseed Cast." I'm like, I don't even know who the Appleseed Cast is. That's amazing. So of course I then had to go listen to a bunch of Appleseed Casts and see what they were talking about.
Well, now you got me wondering too. So.
Yeah, and when we last went on tour, I had a long conversation with another band, and they were talking about. I feel like there's enough 80s and 90s influences kind of mushed together, so we have touches of both of those decades. And somebody said, "Oh, you remind me," and they started name dropping a bunch of the like emo first, second wave emo bands like Braid and Mineral and I found it fascinating because I'm like, wow, I don't think. I mean, I love Sunny Day Real Estate. I love Jawbreaker, some Jawbox, things like that, like some of that '90s first wave of emo bands.
Right.
Before it became like a weird pop punk hybrid thing, like the whatever the '90s thing was. Yeah. But then listening back to some of those bands, I was like, oh wow, okay, so. This person didn't necessarily connect with like the poppy or post-punk thing. They were kind of observing the sort of, I don't know, emotive rawness or something. And so anyway, it was fascinating.
Well, that's cool, man. And it's always fun to kind of rediscover an old album, you know, and just because every once in a while, and I'll be driving the car and I'll think something because like I usually have my phone plugged in, so I'm listening to pretty much all the music I play in the show and that sort of thing, right? And then something will pop in my head. It's like, you know what? I haven't heard that for so long. And I go home and kind of flip through my CD collection. And then if I don't have it there, I know it's on the computer somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's like a relief, but such a good thing to hear. Is like, and it's one of those things. A lot of times, I think like, why haven't I listened to this album in so long?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, I forgot about this.
Exactly. So yeah, but yeah, those are the influences that I saw. But heard. But it really stuck out, and I can see why there's a big draw to the song because it's very, very, very catchy.
Well, then this is probably the one we should make a video for.
Well, and there's limitless possibilities of that too, especially with the harmonies. You can picture where you guys are kind of doing that together, you know. So there's so many different ways you can go with that. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have time for one more. And I think I'm going to go with Actual Factual. Dig this, the active set. The active set, actual factual. Now that was a really tight tune. I mean, everything together. I mean, everything sounded really, really good from the guitar to the drums. Man, it was that's what I gotta say about it. It was a very tight track.
Thank you, man. Big shout out to John T. Thompson for that one, guitar player who left. That particular song was his. He's largely responsible for that song coming into being. We picked away at it for a long time with a certain intro, and it wasn't working, and a certain thing, and then the song, it just at one point hit its stride, and there it is.
Well, man, it's a great tune. I really like that one as well. Now, are you guys planning, or do you have any gigs lined up in the next few months?
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to figure out right now. We're working on a couple potential things. We did this live taping last month that's going to air in June with Badass Bands blog, where they basically have what they call what do they call it? They have their kind of digital residency thing.
Okay.
Where basically we recorded 3 songs and an interview, and every Monday in June they're going to put out a new issue, a new one of them. And the third week we actually recorded a new song called "Say Goodbye."
Nice.
And we've been, writing a few more new songs because we're just kind of some of the songs. I mean, we still have some songs in the set that are from 11, but we're at a point where it's like, okay, we can move on from that.
Right.
You have to move on at some point. And just with the lineup as it is right now, it's just really exciting. I mean, there's a lot of really cool music coming out of us. And so we're working on that. And then as far as shows or touring goes, yeah, we're in the middle of figuring out what the next big plan is for that, to kind of make the most impact with it.
Right on, man. Well, you know what? It's been so good to talk to you. It's been a long time. It was so good to catch up and find out what's going on. And man, I love the change. So, like I said, we'll keep plugging the EP and playing your tunes on the show. But man, keep it up. Like, you guys are doing so well, and the new EP is really good. I really like it.
Thank you, man. And keep exposing good music to the world. You're doing a great job with it.
Very much appreciated. All right, guys, that is going to do it for tonight. So big thank you to Matt for coming on the show and talking with us tonight.
Peace out, Internet.
And we'll talk to you guys on Saturday for New Music Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk to you then. Bones out.